Hey guys, in this video, I want to somewhat showcase what I have done for the past few days. I have figured out a pipeline to work with customized Metahuman as well as putting clothes onto them, somewhat tailored. But there are problems, as you can see from this animation, that some skin is some mesh of the base mesh, the base Metahuman mesh is showing, and also some vertices isn't moving over correctly, right? It's like the sleeve. um if you have any good solution why this happens, please let me know. I've also put customized clothes onto the three little ones I have created before, as you can see, and I think they look really good. It worked really well. Okay, so for the next couple month, I would say before the beginning of summer, the end of May, I am trying my best to get familiar with my current pipeline with all the either plugin, third parties or whatnot. So the story I want to create is it's one of the wuxia game, as you can tell from the character creation I have created. I feel like one of a really funny idea is wuxia with a gun. So basically American wuxia, right? The thumbnail would be basically the guy you were just looking at, but holding a gun. I think it will be really fun, but I don't really want to implement too much of gun system into this somewhat melee combat game, because they're just too much first shooting game, right? First person shooting game out there, and I think it's somewhat lame, and it's somewhat reaching it's somewhat reaching a point that everybody can make a decent looking, right? Like a 7 out of 10 shooting game, because all the assets and also all the supports, that are all there. And to push the final 5% is extremely hard, and I simply don't have the time, and I don't have the capital to fund for that. And this is a really extremely small studio. It's not currently profitable at the moment, but I believe it would very soon. And this will be a really fun, but also I would say considerably harder journey for me than working for a bigger tech company, right? As just taking one of the easier role. But again, this somewhat turns me on. This is really fun to me, so I have the motivation to keep going. I have the motivation to work 10 hours a day. Okay, so let's look at some of the reference that might interest you. Okay, so the three little ones I created was based on the story called 明朝三大才子. So basically, it's three of the very talented, handsome young men, scholar as well. So one is known for his wisdom, one is known for his experience, and one is known for its vividness, right? So basically, like a K-pop boy, right? I don't know. That's probably not a great analogy, but anyway. So I was thinking about this could be a like a riddle or like a puzzle game, right? Basically be asking what has two legs in the morning, four legs in the noon, and like six legs at the night, something like that. And if you like answer wrong, you get into combat. But I haven't getting familiar with my combat systems yet, but I don't think it'll take too long to push out a playable demo or prototype. We'll see. And for the intro, I want to bring some Chinese classic. They will be playing on guqin, which is one of the Chinese classic instrument. Um, so yeah, that'll be the beginning, right? That would be you'll be seeing a chick that's playing this thing, or you are playing it, right? As a guy or whatever, like you are playing it, you are playing the instrument. There are a whole bunch of guys get into your house and you start fighting. Basically, like the beginning of Black Myth Wukong, right? You get to have all your abilities, then you get knocked out, something like that. Yeah. And the other three characters I come up with today, one is called Flowery Monk, Deep Wisdom. In Chinese, it's called 鲁智深. So it's a very masculine guy. It's extremely masculine guy, big, strong, but it's really funny that he has the name called Flowery Monk, and with deep wisdom. So yeah, I'm thinking about making this into a somewhat berserk type of character, like a Guts from Berserk, because I have the animation. I have the basically everything to make it work. Yeah, this will be a really I probably will make this first. Uh, then we'll see others, because melee combat is for to me it's easier than like this one would be like spell casting or some hallucinating things, like uh altering the landscape, altering the terrain. It will be capable of doing something extremely trippy, and it is achievable, and I'm able to achieve it in our engine. So this will be a really fun journey, but how to make it fun, to make it balanced, it's a story for another time. And for my third, I'll say boss, right? My third boss character would be I picked Marco Polo, right? It's a pretty famous figure in the East, which brings the culture and exchange the good throughout the trading routine from Europe to China, right? So he is basically the explorer, the traveler, whatnot, and I think the name Enchanted, uh, yeah, really fit him. So what I think, since he is somewhat a merchant, um, he should be able to be good with tools, right? Be able to have a lot of like grenades, weapons, like shooting arrows, little knife, some special melee combat, but not too crazy at all aspect, but being mediocre at everything, which is somewhat like me. But that is the concept. These three are the concept bosses. So yeah, these things will be what I will be working on in the future. And I can somewhat go over my current pipeline a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. This is probably too technical. Most people don't really want to hear about it. But I think this is really beneficial if my next project does get a lot of attention, and when people look back, they can see that I indeed make all of this myself, as a one person, and yeah, and people, and I think this is really a fun journey to me, and people might find it like motivating. Like, oh, like one person can create something similar to a triple quality again. But he just gotta put in a lot of hours, right? And so for Metahuman, I've already successfully went through all the pipelines. But I've only created something simple, as my custom characters were using Mesh Morpher from our engine to Blender, then do customization, then import back. There are a deeper pipeline, which is I believe it's Maya to Substance Painter, then back to our engine. There's a new thing coming out called MetaPipe. I don't really know how efficient it is, but I don't plan on dig deeper at the moment, because I'm not a professional 3D artist, and I don't intend to be. I try to stay on the framework. I try to stay on the organize, manage, and the fundamental of everything, right? So I don't want to dig too deep into anything. And yeah, for animation, there are Cascader. This is basically the go-to tool. Should I say it's industry standard? I think, yeah, let's say it's industry standard. Cascader is like the industry standard tool for animation. You basically same thing, right? Do it there and import it into our engine, but we'll see if there are needs for it. And there are a lot of AI mocap tools, Move AI being one of it. I haven't really been checking out the actual quality of them, if they are game ready or not. I haven't been checking out these yet. because if the animation is not game ready, right? It's not it's when it convert to like a real motion, it's terrible when when it doesn't stay on the ground, the foot doesn't it's not constant, and also when you move, the foot slides. Everything like that would have to be manually adjusted. And it is a problem with current AI generation, but it is for sure getting there. Uh, so yeah, but again, if you want to create a game right now, today, 2025, you still gotta learn. You still gotta learn the basics. Um, yeah, let's not go too far. So about physics, one of the first reason I want to tackle physics was because my main character, my initial main character, has long hair, and also the it has robe, it has the side fabric that should fly around, bend over, or whatnot when the character is doing some rolling, jumping animation. So I was looking through different approaches, and I find that kawaii physics is quite easy to implement. Um, but again, things might change. Chaos is somewhat expensive from what I heard, but I'm not sure if it has gotten better in 5.5, but it is the default one for our engine. But again, we're not going to talk too much about this today, but for the next week or for 2 weeks later, we'll for sure tackle this problem, right? Looking for the better approach. So for there's Metatailor being one of a really great tool to to like tailor the clothes. Let's say it like that, to put the same clothes onto different character. Metatillar is great, but I really think the interface, some of the, how should I say this? The controlling is a little bit intuitive, counterintuitive. Yeah. But again, good product. Again, I'm not getting paid by any of them. And for cinematic, I found one asset called Black Eye Camera. uh, really great asset. I will do more video about it in the future as well, and to see if I can, if this will implement greatly into my next project. For storytelling, I have used, well, I've written the framework, I've written customized codes myself, and before when I was younger, I always think that when I make a game, I should write every code, every piece of code myself, right? And that make me proud, and I can showcase people that look, I made a game and everything. I wrote it instead of using an assets of framework, but I was too naive because the mindset is simply not correct. If you think like you think as that, it's like a academical, is that a word? Academic type of thinking instead of commercialized thinking, if that makes sense, right? Because your product wouldn't be profitable, it wouldn't be competitive compared to other products on the market. There's a reason why there are a whole bunch of people decimated anyway, like designated to create the in between third party middleware for game developers like me to use, right? It's don't be stupid, right? So when you can use a framework, go ahead and use a framework. Um, but also, make sure to check out how they wrote it. Make sure to check out either C++ or the blueprint code, written, how it's written. I just downloaded Story Framework I was a couple days ago, and I checked out the basic. It's written. I believe it's written all in blueprint. It's really professional written, and the document, there's a lot of document, really well written document. So framework will be something I will for sure check it out. I'll for sure implement in this project as well. So this week, next week, 2 weeks later, or before GDC, I will for sure be having progression video about the storytelling. So yeah, um, For combat, so this is Combat Fury is one of the, like a one person. I wouldn't say one person, but like a small team made, pretty easy plug and play type combat system. Everything is component and written in blueprint. So for a small studio, for agile development, to have some fast demo in like month, in a few months, in half a year to in a year. Uh, I believe this is greater than written everything in well, I wouldn't say everything, but written a portion of the code in C++, and extend it to Blueprint, right? So that's what I was talking about. GAS, game ability system, is the industry standard, but for small games, oh man, try to avoid C++ as much as possible. Because I am a programmer. If I have my LinkedIn listed, I worked for Tencent, and I wasn't naive. I was a really naive programmer. I think that if I'm capable of a really good coding and coding practice, standard, having the best way, best efficient, the time efficient, space efficient, all that things, right? Ready, I'll, I'll be great. But the fact that for game development, especially like a small team, it's not true. And one of the main reason is that when you are compiling, it takes way too long. When I change a variable name, when I change its visibility, right? When I want to edit it, be able to edit it in Blueprint or in the simply editor, right? The detail panel, you have to change. I think it's called. Is it prefix? It's overhand. I think that's what it's called. You have to like add a overhand in the .h file, and then you have to compile it again. I don't know what type of spec your computer should be or need to be to run it fast, but on my 37 Ti, it's not. It's fucking slow. So try to avoid C++ as much as possible. It's not like you're gonna have like a bajillion minions, running across the screen. You're not going to simply not going to have that, right? And that shouldn't be a worry. Anyway, let's move on. For other movement system besides combat, these are three pretty good base project to start upon, since we are using the state of art game animation sample project with motion matching. It's better to start with like a pre-built project. But one of the thing is that Jacob's AGLS, you guys can check it out. He has implemented so many things in there. There are AI following. I think it's called mesh linking. So basically, the AI is capable of jumping over like squares or terrain if the AI is capable of jumping over, instead of traditional navigation mesh. It's something new, but I haven't really seen like look into it. Anyway, he has also modified the C++ code of it. So if you are really eager to learn, if you are a great learner, if you have idea of how the pathfinding algorithm is written in C++, right? So basically, if you have some programming fundamentals, you can try and learn Jacob's AGLS, because it has the overlay system integrated into the parkour, the game animation system. Two of the greatest, I would say, Unreal Engine movement projects, right? It's really good. It is really good, but the learning curve is pretty crazy too. So for the ultimate gasp, I was taking a look. Today and yesterday, he has implemented a lot of stuff as well. I think shit. Anyway, you can look it up yourself. It's great. And for Make a Real One, this is fairly a smaller one. Um, what he had offered is two component. One is well to plug in warp component for your sandbox character. One is interaction and one is parkour. They are really simple. They are simple to understand. They are simple to look at. They are simple to go over with basically. So if you are trying to create something, um, should I say simple? Let's just say if you are trying to create something simple, try to start small because um, unless you are just trying to flip, right? If you are just going to flip a framework like AGLS or the Ultimate Gasp, go ahead. But I don't think that is the right way to do game development, right? I think you should be understanding what is happening. Um, yeah, uh, if you are the one making the game, yes, you should have the understanding of what is going on in the animation blueprint. You need to know what is going on in the motion matching system, right? How the database work, all that shit. And for the inventory system, I find out. Well, I could be wrong, but Star Framework has a somewhat decent inventory system, like a backpack system, let's say like that. And I will dig deeper into this, try to convert this into the backpack into something else. And this will be a fairly easy conversion. Um, yeah, I think this will be like done in one day. The inventory system can be done in one day, and I really believe this thing can be somewhat hooked up with narrative. So if we pick up an item and we go to finish somebody's mission, like a task, right? Basically, having to go find a key to open the door to the next area, and we can somewhat have a little interaction between story 3 as well as narrative 3. Okay, so let's moving on for the environment design. Um, okay, let's talk about level. Let's talk about block out first, right? So, okay, so the process of making a level is that you need to block out first. You need to have what should I call it? Gray boxing, right? You need to have an idea and of the scale of how the place, the levels will be designed, will be look like, right? No matter open world or closed, right? Closed box, whatever the term it is. So since it's a one-man project, I don't really need any more tools from like Sings, right? Sings has some really amazing store, has some really amazing assets from the store, but I don't necessarily need it, right? Because I'm trying to make it fast. I'm trying to keep my block out simple, and for the probably next week, for the next 2 weeks, this will for sure be included. I will have more block out what should I call it? Demonstration, right? Have more block out progress showing. Okay, so let me drink some water. Okay. So for the next thing, environment design. So with this, why I was thinking about this is not just putting into assets. I was also thinking about how do I fill up the place was more efficient, right? So I was like, holy shit, I need tools. I need more tools to help me make this more efficient. So the two tools I found out, one is IA scatter. IA is the person's initials, and scatter, as you know, what it does is that what's known for is that it has a really simple approach to basically scatter object into your scene. Like based on physics. You can do it in Blender, or something like that. But again, it's only a $10, $10 plugin. Awesome stuff. I haven't really looked into it. It's somewhat lack of document and no tutorial whatsoever. But the creator, the IA, my guy, has said that um, it should be easy to implement, right? So I'll be playing with it for sure when we are at the environmental design process. Okay, So this Dash, I do not know if Dash is industry standard for environmental designer. But what Dash had to offer was quite amazing. There's a lot of tutorial. There's a lot of um, how should I say this, like documents as well, that's telling you, what it is capable of, what it can do. And if my project, if my small one person studio is going to scale in the future, I would for sure dig deeper into this and hope my future environment designer has similar tools or better than what I'm capable of at the moment, right? And let's talk about smaller details in the environmental design. Okay, so for mesh, we are using a lot of assets from the store, from the UE store fab. But one thing is that I really want high quality, like triple A quality game ready asset. So KB3D, also known as Cargo, right? The plugin is called Cargo. It's one of the greatest option. I think the best approach is to subscribe it monthly and download everything. I think that's the approach. And there are some AI tools out there as well. One is called Mesh AI. I have made tutorials of how to, use this as well as clean up the meshes on my channel. Go check it out. And let's go over to how we will be handling our sky season, also weather. This is one of the extremely fundamental tools. It's called Ultra Dynamic Sky as well as weather. I'm extremely familiar with it at this point. Um, what it's capable of is it has pretty simple. I wouldn't say simple. Yeah, it has a pretty simple dynamic trailer type of effect. So when it's snowing or having sand or in a watery weather, like walking in puddles, it's capable of giving you two trials. Is that what's it called? Like tra- 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 trailer? No, I forgot. Basically, the things that you leave behind off your foot, right? Trail. I think it's called trails, right? You are able to leave trails. Yeah, I think it's one of the greatest. It's one of its best feature. But again, it also has time of day, location of the sun, and also if you want the time to go on or not, it's fucking amazing. For landscape, I'm using Brushify for quite a while now. I haven't been touching Maui um ever, but I heard its alto material, landscape material is really great. We'll check into it, but it's optional, right? Because I'm just so familiar with Brushify now. And for high map, we might use World Creator. Uh, Another out of box, not really out of box, out of Unreal Engine third party. It's great, but it doesn't run well on my computer neither. I think probably just my computer is too weak for this. I need to update to 5090. Okay, so for VFX, I was like naming out some bullshit, not gonna lie, because I for sure know that I'm not going to touch Houdini, and I probably don't have the time to really dig into Flu Ninja or Fluid Flux, Flux Fluid, something like that. Be- because when it comes to VFX or Niagara, you need to be considering if it's CPU if it is calculated on CPU or if it is calculated on GPU, right? So if the VFX I exported from Houdini doesn't um give me the option to choose what to render on or whatnot, or what boundary is it, fixed boundary, is it, should it be dynamic, all that things. It has a huge compact, has a huge impact on performance, right? So, um, the best solution for me would be using made assets basically, because I will for sure play around with it. I've made plenty Niagara VFX before, but yeah, I wouldn't try to spend too much time on this because VFX is not something I want to dig too deep into. And last but not least, optimization. This would be well, this would be literally the, should I say the last thing? Well, it will be the last thing before VFX. I will try to touch it on because our storyline is quite simple, and the most AI you will have is probably 10, because I'll be having some walking across the city type of scene, so 10 to 20, right? I mean, we can have some like potato NPC going or running, right? So it wouldn't be too much of a problem. But again, because of potential problem of nanite and also lumen, when it comes to lumen, you have to taking care of what is called virtual shuttle map. Um, and when it comes to nanite, you have to, how should I say this? There are reports, there are a lot of people saying that this, if we didn't handle nanite correctly, it would kill performance. um, I am not too deep into this, but I have published a paper about nanite as well as the virtual shuttle map. How to optimize, try to use more static instead of dynamic shuttle when it has world position offset, right? Something like that. But again, the pipeline changes a lot when the time moves on. When the Epic Game team adding more stuff into it, you gotta keep on, right? You gotta keep on learning. But yeah, I wouldn't try to keep on with this thing for too much because it simply moves on too fast. Like Epic Game, they are really pushing it. Like the pace they have, they are killing the competition. Let's be for real. And yeah, this will be it. This will be the introduction, right, to my next project. Let's call it one person AAA state of art Unreal Engine 5.5. American wuxia game, wuxia with a gun, right? So I think this game has all the element to go viral, and let's pray and let's see how far it can go. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next one.